Good evening. In previous session, we have seen the concept of functions, basics of functions. So in today's class, we are going to see in detail about functions concept only. So yesterday, at last, we have seen about return statement. So now we are going to see some of the examples about this return statement. So return. So a small example I'm going to give. So let us define a small function called as hi. And here I'm going to add some name. Just I want to print that is good morning. Some name, whatever you want to pass, you can pass here. Okay, right. So if I want to call this function, just I am going to use hi dot Shiva, for example. So now what happens? The name is going to, sorry, the Hari Shiva is going to name, and inside that it is going to print what? Good morning Shiva. So hi function is going to be called whenever I am going to call a hi function. So in this hi, how many arguments are there? There is only one parameter is there. So how many arguments I have to pass to this parameter? One argument has to be passed. So here what I am passing? Shiva I am passing. So in name what will be there? Shiva will be there. So next it will execute the statements that are present inside your function. So it's going to print what? Print good morning Shiva. It's going to print good morning Shiva. If I want to call once again hi of some Hari, now what happens? That function is going to be called, and in name we are going to send Hari, and it is going to print good morning Hari. So now the concept is here. Every time I am calling the function, but it is not going to tell me returning anything. Just it is going to do its own task. But if I want something to be returned, then I have to use the concept called as return. Okay, let us see with some examples. Okay, right. So in yesterday's class, I have shown you one small example. Just see. Define add. I'm going to use a function called as add. Here I'm going to take a comma b. So one main advantage of our Python is dynamically typed programming language. So now I will show you the advantage of dynamically typed programming language. So here I'm going to consider c equal to a plus b, and I want to print the result here itself. Okay. Now I want to add two numbers, that is 10 comma 20. Next I want to add 30 comma 40. Now what will be the output of this program? First I'm going to call add, so that it is going to call this add function by passing two parameters. One is 10 and another is 20. So a value is 10, b value is 20. Next c equal to 10 plus 20 is going to be happened, and we are going to print that value. After that, control come back to this add. So add of 30 comma 40. So these arguments are going to be passed to here. Next in a, the value will be what? 30, and the value of b is what? 40. And we are going to perform the addition, and we are going to print the value, that is 70. Let us see. So I'm going to show you many alternatives by using this return statement. Okay, now let us see. So see here, first I'm going to execute this one. 30 and 70 is printed. Now I don't want to print this one here. Okay, that means I want to return whatever the result that is going to be generated to the caller. Who is caller? From here I am going to call this function. So the statement becomes what? Caller. So here I am going to write return C, where the result is in C. So if I write this way, observe carefully. Okay, so what happens here? It is not going to print anything. Why it is not going to print anything? I am going to discuss. So first we have to observe one thing, that is here everything, it looks like everything is correct, but there is a mistake. Okay, why the result is not printing means here you have not used the statement called as print. Okay, so first case, that is here if I'm going to call any function, so here what I am calling add function, I am going to call. So it is going to return something to my to the caller. So caller has to store, otherwise it has to print, so that result will be stored or it will be shown to the user. If you are not going to store that value, if you are not going to print that value, the value will not be shown by for the user. So now I am going to do what? X equal to, I am storing the result in some X. Now I am printing what? Print of X. So now observe, the value will be printed as 30, no problem. Here what happened? I am calling the add function. It is going to perform some task, and whatever the result it is generated, that is going to be returned to the to me, so that I am going to store that value in X. I am printing that X. This is one case. Otherwise, directly no need of assigning to any variable. Directly I will write calling statement in our print statement only. Directly it is going to give you what? Answer 30. Now the concept is, unfortunately I forgot to write C, and I am returning something here. What I am returning? Nothing I am returning. So if you are going to return nothing, it is going to print as what? None. This is second case. If you are going to write return, it indicates you are going to return none, so that it is going to print as what? None. Next one is what? For example, here I am not having any return. Listen carefully. Here I am not having any return, but just I have called this one 10 comma 20. Now it is not returning anything. That means what? Again here the answer will be what? The answer will be none only. Okay, if you are not returning anything by writing the return statement, or if you are not going to write the return statement, both are same, because in both the cases what happens? We are not going to return anything. So that means in this case what happens? You are calling your function. See here, observe this thing. From this statement, from here you are going to call this function, so that we went to here, it executes C equal to A plus B. Then is it returning anything here? No. Then what it is going to print? If it is not returning anything, what it can print? It cannot print anything. So the answer will be none. If you are going to write here, for example, I am going to write just return here. So I am writing just a written statement. Am I returning anything here? So I am not returning anything. Again, what happens? Same none is going to be printed. So if you are writing some return statement, better write some value here. So that what happens? That value is going to be returned, and it is going to be printed here. Okay. Next case is what? If you are returning something, but if you are not going to use print, or if you are not going to store that variable, what happens? It is not going to print anything, because what happens here? It is returning something, but am I printed that value here? Not printed. How it will be printed? So it is not going to print that. Okay. So now these are the different cases with our written statement. Now I will take one more example to show that our statement is our written statement is going to quit the function whenever it is encountered. Okay, just I will write one even odd function. So just I want to tell the number whether it is even or odd. So I'm going to write even odd. Just I want to take one number here. Okay, right. So what I am doing here, I want to find whether the number is even or not. So if n modulo 2 equal to 0, if it is n modulo equal to 0, what happens? It is a even number. So print, otherwise I want to return this one. Okay, now observe this one, return n. So return n. I'm going to write here. If else case, else if it is not odd number, for example, it is what? It is an even number. So otherwise, if it is an odd number, just I want to return a string called as return even. So here what is going to happen? I want to return as odd. Now observe clearly. Now print, I want to ask user to enter a number. Enter any number. Okay. So user is going to enter one number, so that I have to read that number. So sorry, directly I can write input. Sorry. So input of, okay, input of something. I want to store that value in where? N. So n equal to input of enter any number. It is stored in n. Just I am calling even underscore odd of, just I have to pass which value? N value. So here I will take, here also we can take n, but I want to change it as some x. So here I will change it as what? X. Right. We can take n, no problem, but I don't want to confuse you at starting level only. So later we will explain about that concept. So now here what happens? Here just I want to print this one. Print of even underscore odd of n. Now one more point I want to write here, that is print of, this will not be printed, this will not be printed. Let us see whether it is printed or not. Let us check once. Okay, so see what happens. It is asking to enter some number. I have entered 5. Not all arguments converted. String format. 1 minute. Line 8 and line 2. Line 8 and line 2. So here it is going to check 1 minute. Here it is int type. Sorry, I have to convert it into int because I'm taking int value. Sorry. Right. The value is what? Int. Let us execute now. So I'm taking 5. What happens? It is printed as what? Odd. Now the point is this statement is printed or not? This statement is not printed. Now once again I want to execute this one by giving a value 10 here. Now what happens? It is printed even. But what about this statement? Where this statement is present? The statement is present inside this function only. Inside this even odd, only the statement is present. Then why it is not executing? Why it is not printing? The reason is, so see, if this condition is executing, it executing what? Return. Whenever return statement is encountered, then from that particular statement we will come out of that function. So where it will come back to? From where we have called that function? From this statement, this line. So it will come back to this line. Okay, next, if let us consider, if condition is failed, then we will go to where? Else case. Here also what we are having? Return odd. So again it is returning from here. If we are jumping from here to here, then who will execute this statement? If either, if it is a true, we are coming here. If it is false, we are going to here. Then how we come to this statement? It is not possible. Okay, so by this example you have to understand one thing, that if you are going to write return statement and if it is executed inside a function, compulsory from that point we are going to come out of that function. That means we are going to exit that function. Yes. Now this is a small example for that. Now I want to show you once the same example what we have seen before, that is add of a comma b. That means I want to show the advantage of our Python. C equal to, I am going to write a plus b. So return, I am going to write c. So print c. Print of, 1 minute. Okay. Print of c. Now observe one thing. Print of, sorry, add of a comma b. Sorry, I want to pass something here. 10 comma 20. Now observe one thing, that what happens here when I am going to call this function, I am going to get output as what? 30. So there is no problem, clear. Unfortunately, I don't know what to pass. Just I have passed what? Strings. I have passed what? Strings. Now what will be the result of this program? The program is going to return what? Shiva Rama. That means what? In the case of in your Java, C or C++, there is a concept of specifying the type here itself. That means in Java and remaining programs like C and C++, what I would write here, I have to write some types. So based on these types, I have to pass the data here. But here in our concept, is there any need of writing these data types here? No need. If I'm not going to write the data types here, what it is going to consider? A is which type? I don't know A is which type until some value is passed to it. If I pass string to it, it becomes string. If I pass int to it, it will become int. If I pass float to it, it will become float, and so on. So you can understand what here. Our Python is what? Dynamically typed programming language. Dynamically, the type of A and B are going to be decided. But in the concept of other programming language, what happens? Initially, we are saying what? Int space A, int space B. At compile time only, A and B are going to be decided as which type? Int type. But in our Python, it is not the case. In our Python, there is no concept of data types which has to be written for the variables. So it will decide the type whenever we are going to pass the values to it. At what time we are going to pass? At runtime. Okay, right. This is the point I want to discuss. Right now, the thing is, if you are not going to return anything, let us consider here I'm not going to return anything. Okay, now I want to execute. the output. What we are going to get here? It is going to print as what? None. That means if you are not going to pass anything, by default the return type is what? None. By default the return type is what? None. Okay, this point we have to understand. So very important point now I want to discuss, that is, till now I have shown you what? I am returning only one value. I am returning what? Only one value here. But in our Python, we can return multiple values at a time. So if we consider any other programming languages like C, C++, Java, there we have seen only, we can pass only one, we can return only one value. But in Python, we can return multiple values. If you want to return multiple values, we can return multiple values, no problem. So let us see now how to pass the multiple, how to return the multiple values in our Python. Let us see with a small example. Now observe here, I want to define a function which is going to perform all arithmetic operations. For example, arithmetic operations I am going to take. Here I am going to consider plus, minus, into, divided by, and modulo, for example. So here I am going to take two values and colon. Now first I want to do what? Directly I am going to write, I don't want to extend the function, directly I am going to write here return a plus b. That means what? For the return I can write any expression. I can write an expression, I can write a value, or I can write anything here. So remember one thing, finally if I write expression also, it is going to return what? After evaluating the expression, whatever the value we are going to get, that value will be returned. Otherwise, if you write here, for example, return 10, return 10 also, it is going to return 10, no problem. But here the point is what? For the return statement, if you want to write directly the values, we can write. Or if you want to store the value inside a variable, and if you want to pass that variable, no problem. Otherwise, directly the expression, if you want to write here, we can write it. Now I am going to show by passing the expressions, by returning the expressions. So first one is what? A plus b, a minus b, a into b, a divided by b, comma, a modulo b, for example, a modulo b. Now here I am returning how many values? I am going to return 5 values. One value is that is going generated by this expression. Second value, third value, fourth value, and fifth value. Now the concept is, what I have to do now? I have to call this function with how many variables? How many values? 2 values. I am going to consider 100 comma 10, for example. Now if I press enter here, what happens? It's going to return what? Some value it is going to return, but I have not stored it and I am not printing it. Then the result will be what? Nothing it is going to print. So what I have to do? I want to store all the values here. So just I will write x equal to, okay, otherwise directly I will print and show first print of, I will print the first values how it is going to return. So see, first thing I have to tell you here is, observe this one. If you observe the values, it is going to return in the form of what? Tuple. So whenever you are going to return multiple values, okay, whenever you are going to return multiple values, by default it is going to return in which type? By default it is tuple type. That means group of values it is going to return. So it is in the form of what? Tuple. So that I have shown you here. So with parenthesis it is there, right? Now I don't want to print directly here, I want to store the values. Let us consider, just I want to x equal to, I want to store, later I want to print just like addition of, otherwise addition, where addition is stored? This thing I have to understand, where addition is stored? In x. So inside x how many values are there? Inside x I am having 5 values. So just I want to write, I know that I am passing addition in first line, so that I will write what? X of 0, for example. I will show you what happens now. X of 0. So now see, if I execute this one minute, okay, so if I execute this one, what we are going to get? Addition is 110 we got. Next, after this one, if I write multiplication, otherwise, for example, subtraction, where is subtraction present? X of 1. Subtraction. Okay. Next, in the same, if we want to write some other multiplication, division, and so on, we can write it, no problem. So we are going to get the outputs. Now, if I want to print by using for loop, what I have to write? For some I in X, print I. Now what happens? All the values will be printed that are present in I. What are the values that are present? Sorry, what are the values that are present in X? How many values are there? How many values it is going to return now? This function is going to return how many values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means in the place of this function, how many values I am having? 5 values are there. So 5 values are going to stored in X. So 5 values are returning in which form? Tuple form. You are going to store group of values inside an X. So this concept is called as what? Tuple packing. Already we have seen this concept when we are seeing the concept of tuple packing and unpacking. So this concept is what? Tuple packing. I am grouping multiple values into a single variable. So concept is what? Tuple packing. So if you want to see the output, just I am going to write this way. Just it is going to print what? All the values. What are the values here? 110, 90, 1000, 10.0, and last one is what? 0. So we know what is the values here. This is what? 110. This is 90. This is 1000. This is what? 10.0. Because this is going to give you what? Float value only. A modulo bit is going to give you what? A reminder of the division. Okay. Right. This is about returning multiple values. Okay. So if you want to return any values, any number of values, we can return here. But the concept is whenever you are going to return, it is going to return in the form of tuple. Sir, if I want to convert this one into a, for example, I want to convert that one into a list. So just I'm going to write list here. Let us see what happens if I write list. So you can observe one thing, that what happens, it is printed as it is, but I want to see the type of X now. So what happens, I have converted it into list. So print of type of X. Now observe here. So type of X is what? It becomes what? List. By default it is what? By default it is a tuple. So I will show that one also. By default it is tuple. Now if I execute this one, it will give you what? Tuple type. Okay. If you want to convert your own type, then we can go for that particular function. So now I have converted what? List type by using a list function. Okay. So this is about returning a multiple values from a function. Now very important concept we are going to discuss, arguments or parameters I am going to discuss. So what is meant by an argument? What is meant by parameter? Just I will take this example and I will explain that one. So what is meant by arguments? Whatever the values we are going to pass to the function are called as arguments. So 110 are called as arguments. So here how many arguments are going to be passed? 2 arguments are going to be passed. So when, sorry, to which function I'm going to pass these 2 values? To function called as AR underscore OP. So that if I am calling this one, compulsory for this AR underscore OP, 2 parameters should be there. Here I'm calling it as a parameter. So these are called as what? Parameters. What are the values I'm going to pass as what? Arguments. This it will call as what? Arguments. Generally, these words are interchangeable, but we have to call it as what? These values as arguments. Whatever we are passing is called as an argument. Where we are going to store is called as what? Parameters. So these are considered as what? Parameters. So this function is having how many parameters? 2 parameters it is having. How many arguments you are passing? 2 arguments. Let us consider, if I want to call a function called as AR underscore OP. Now if I call in this way, see clearly we can get an error. What is that? AR OP missing 2 required positional arguments. It is clearly saying what? Here I know what is meant by AR underscore OP, but you have to pass how many parameters? 2 parameters. So compulsory if you are having parameters here, those parameters has to be passed. Okay, right. Later we can see about, we are having some concept of method overloading and all those concepts. Later we will see that, but till now we have to understand only about arguments and parameters. So now I want to show you an example. That is what, here you have to understand what, here we have to understand whenever we are going to call a function. So if here two parameters are there, compulsory, if you want to call this function, you have to pass two parameters only. If you call in this way, we are not going to execute, it is not going to execute this function. For example, if I pass one function, sorry, one parameter or one argument, what it is going to give you? Again, it is going to give you an error saying what? AR underscore OP missing one parameter, positional argument B. So what is meant by this positional argument? I will explain. Okay. So this is about parameters and arguments. Now the concept is types of arguments. So listen carefully, this is important. So what is that? Types of arguments. So in Python, generally we are having four types of arguments. Four types of arguments. So in that, first one is positional argument. So just now I have shown you in an error. I will explain what is meant by positional arguments also. Positional arguments. Next, second one is keyword arguments. Keyword arguments. Next one, default arguments. Default arguments. Next, last one is, we can say it as a arbitrary arguments, or other name for this one, variable length arguments. Variable length arguments. So we can call it as it with a short name, that is what, var args. We can call in this way also. Okay, so there are four types of arguments are there in our Python. Those are what? First one is positional arguments, second one is keyboard arguments, third one is default arguments, and last one is arbitrary arguments, but generally they will call it as a variable length arguments or var args. Okay, now let us discuss about positional argument. Okay, in the name it says what? Position. That means based on the positions we are going to identify the parameter. For example, here I am going to have a function called as add. Here A is there, here B is there. Observe carefully. Add of 10. If I call this one, otherwise leave this one. Just I'm going to call empty. I'm going to use empty parameters. That means no parameters are there here. No arguments are going to be passed. Now what happens? What error we have seen? See here. Observe carefully. AR underscore OP missing two required positional arguments, that are A and B. That means here if you are calling add function, here we are having two arguments. Two arguments are there. So compulsory we have to pass some arguments to this, because in this position I have to pass something. In this position I have to pass some argument. So the arguments in this position are not passed. So we are getting some error, and it is telling clearly that missing two required positional arguments. Let us consider if I pass only one argument here. So this first argument, as it is a first argument, it will go to this position. What is the position of this 10 here? First. So here, what is the position of this A? First. So this argument will go to this A only. Next, what about B? B is missing here. So directly it is saying what? AROP missing one required positional argument. That is what B. For B, the value is not passed here. Okay, don't think that if I pass one argument, it will go to B. Because here we have to see the position of that argument. What is the position of this argument? Position of this argument is 1. So what is the parameter that is present in first location of add function? It is A. So that it will go to that particular position only. So these arguments are called as what? Positional argument. Okay, right. Now, so technically I want to speak about these positional arguments. That is, if you define any function with n parameters. So here I have taken n value as, for example, 2. So then we have to pass n parameters or n arguments to this function. Okay, that means here compulsory, if you are calling this function, compulsory I have to pass how many? 2 arguments to that function. If you call it with a different number of parameters, that means if I call it with 0 arguments, or if I call it with 1 argument or 3 arguments or 4 arguments, then we are going to get error, as we have seen in previous example. Okay, right. So that when we are going to call a function with some values, for example some values, the values get assigned to the arguments according to their position. I have shown you here that point. That means what happens here? Here 10 is going to be passed. It is in which position? First position. So this will be assigned to which parameter? Though, so it will assign to the parameter which is in first position only. It will not assign to B. Reason is these are called as what? Positional arguments. So based on the position only, this argument will be assigned to the parameters. Okay, right. Now I want to show you an example for this positional argument. Generally used arguments are positional arguments only. So right now definition I want to write of a function wish. So here what I want to do is I want to print some message and some name. Okay, here how many parameters are there? 2 parameters are there. One is name, another one is message. Just I want to print a message saying good morning. Here I am going to write hi. Just I am going to write hi. One string I want to write, comma. I want to print what? Name, comma, some message. Okay, let us see. Whatever you are passing to the name, whatever you are passing the message, that is going to be printed here. So first time I am going to pass, just I want to pass Shiva, and the second argument as good morning. So good morning I want to pass. So now observe one thing. If I am going to execute this program, what happens? Shiva is going to be passed to name. Why it is going to be passed to name? Because these are positional arguments. So whatever the position it is in, so to that position only it will be passed. So it is in which position? First position. You are calling which function? Which function. So it will go to this which function, and in first position what is there? Name is there. So the Shiva is going to be stored in name. In the same way, good morning, it is in which position? Second position. Whom I am calling? Which I am calling. In which, what is the second argument, second parameter we are having? MSG. So to that MSG I am going to pass what? Good morning. So that in name what we are having? Shiva. In message what we are having? Good morning. So if I print this one, what happens? It is going to print as hi Shiva, good morning. Now if you observe here, see here some space is there. Who has given the space? I have not given space between Shiva and good and hi and Shiva. Just I have given the space between good morning. It is okay. So while passing this one I have given space here. But who has given space here? I have not given here. See, there is no space here. Next, there is no space here also. Okay, by default it is going to take space, but I don't want space. For example, better write all these are strings only. No, better write concatenation symbol. Now observe, there will be no space between the strings. So in this string it will be there because I have passed here. From here I have passed, so that it will be there. If I want to remove this one also, I can remove it. So you can observe what, if we want to get a strings without any space, as it is, if we want to get, we have to use concatenation symbol. Okay, now the thing is here what we have to observe. If I pass exactly, so I'm going to remove these things. So if we want to pass arguments to the function, which arguments these are? Positional arguments. Compulsory those many arguments only should be present. In first case there is no problem. In second case I'm going to pass, see what I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass empty. If I pass empty also, is there any problem? I am passing something here, so no problem. So see what happens. Hi it has printed, empty it has printed, then no problem here. Now third case, I am passing some other values. Will it not take any int values? No, it will take. Is there any problem? No, there is no problem. But in a message, what it is going to print? Hi 10 and 20 it is going to print. But if it is a Java program, or if it is a C program or C++ program, here types will be there. Based on that type only we have to pass the arguments. But here there is no concept of types here, so that we can pass any type. But main thing is what? whatever the number of parameters we are having in that wish, those many arguments only has to be passed. There are two, I am passing only one. So what happens? Until the correct statements, it will be execute. Wherever we are going to get the mistake, at that point we are going to get an error. At which line? Sixth line. That is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is at last line. What happens here? One required positional argument is missing. For what? MSG. That means this 10 is going to be stored in where? Name. For name, we are having something. What about MSG? It is asking clearly that you are passing for name. What about second parameter, that is MSG? It is asking. So that if you want to pass or if you want to call any function by using the positional argument concept, so that the number of arguments you are passing and the number of parameters it is having should be same. Okay, this is the concept of what? Positional arguments. Now next one is keyword arguments. Next concept is what? Keyword arguments. Just I will take the same example here, but here as I am taking name and message, I will consider strings only. We can pass any type, but I'm going to take only strings here, right? Keyword argument. So what is meant by keyword argument means? So in our Python, we are having this keyword argument concept. So when we call this function, for example, if you are going to call this wish function, here based on the positional argument, what we are going to see? Order of the arguments we are going to see here. That means first argument, whatever we are passing, that will be reached to which one? It will be passed to name. If I pass second, it will be passed to MSG. But if I don't want to use the order, that means let us consider here I am going to send message, that is good morning or good morning. Okay, good morning I am going to send here, and next I am going to write name here, some name here. Now what happens? As these are what? These are positional arguments, so that it will go to pass name. It is going to pass to name. It is going to pass to MSG, because these are positional arguments. But what is meant by keyword arguments means, just I want to tell. See, first one is what? Name is there, but I don't want to pass name by writing some keyword. Keyword is what? MSG. That means if we pass this parameter, it will pass to what? MSG only. So message what I want to give? Good afternoon, for example. Good afternoon. And here I am passing for what? Already for message I have passed. For name I want to pass Hari. Now observe clearly here. Compulsory this has to be understood by you. That is what we are passing here. First one, in this case, it will go to name. It will go to message, because these are positional arguments. Based on the position, it will go and store in that particular parameters. But here what happens? Here particularly by using the keywords, I am telling that message is good afternoon, name is Hari, whom I am calling, wish I am calling. First it will go to wish and it will try to pass this value. While passing, it will check to whom I have to pass. To whom it has to pass, I am telling here, to MSG. So the message will pass it to MSG. And next parameter is what? Name is there. Clearly I am telling here. So name has to be passed to what? This array has to be passed to what? Name. So now see the output here. You can observe clearly. So first one is no problem, as it is a positional argument. Second one, what happens? As a first argument, I have passed message also. It has printed what? Name. Reason is I have used an argument called as keyword arguments. This is the advantage. Here I am not going to follow any order. Okay. That means what? Here order is not such important. But one thing we have to understand here also is number of arguments are important. See, if I pass here, the concept is same. Number of arguments is important. If I execute this one, it will show me error. Same error. Wish missing one requirement, positional argument. By default, which argument it is? Positional argument only. So that it is saying what? It requires what? One more positional argument. So in first case, what happens? In first case, in positional arguments case, number of parameters should be same and order of parameters should be same. In these keyword arguments, order is not important, but number of parameters are important. So that we have seen that. Now Here I am using only positional arguments. In this case, I am using what? I am using only keyword arguments. Okay, I am using only keyword arguments. But with these keyword arguments, if I want to pass positional arguments also, then how to pass those positional arguments with this keyword arguments? Let us see now. Right now, observe clearly. So see, I am passing. In this way, I am passing. Listen carefully. In this way, I am passing. So first one is which type of argument? So as it is having some keyword, so it is a keyword argument. So to which one it is passing? To MSG, it is going to pass good afternoon. So this is which argument? This is positional argument. As per the rule of position argument, this has to be passed to which argument? MSG only again. So it is passing to MSG, it is passing to MSG. What about name then? So let us see what it is going to tell us. So directly it is saying what? Positional argument follows keyword argument. So same thing will be clearly explained if we see the error here. Let us see here once. So if you see the errors clearly, we can understand what happens there. So see, it is telling what? Positional argument follows keyword argument. It is clearly showing me where it happens. That means by seeing this one, we can understand one rule, that positional argument follows keyword argument. That means it is, if I write positional argument after keyword argument, it's going to give me an error. That indicates what? We should not pass. You may think that, sir, according to MSG and we have passed MSG in both the both arguments. Now I will change this one as name, for example. I am passing name here. That means first argument will go to name, second argument will be go to Hari. You may think that, but again it is going to give me what? It is going to give me what? Error only. Reason is there is one rule. That rule is, I am going to write once here. If we want to pass a positional arguments along with the keyword arguments, then compulsory positional argument should be first and keyword argument should be next. That is, here I am passing Hari. Next, I want to pass some positional argument. Here I am going to write some message equal to Venu. This is correct because first is what? First we are having what? First we are having positional arguments, and next only we are having, this is what? This is keyword argument. If I write first keyword argument and next positional argument, it is going to give you an error. Already we have seen that concept. So here, what is the problem we are having? First I am using keyword argument, next I am using positional argument. If I change this one, for example, if I am going to write name here, and first one is what? Positional argument, and second one is what? Keyword argument. I will write just here keyword argument as MSG. So will there be any problem here? There will be no problem. We are going to get correct output. Now you may have some other doubt. Sir, here we are having only two arguments, so that it will be fine. Now I want to take one more argument called as age. So I want to print the age also here. Now I want to take first one as positional argument, second one as keyword argument, and last one also as a position argument. Last one also as positional argument. What happens? What is the rule that has to be applied here? Same rule. Positional argument follows keyword argument. That means if you are going to write keyword arguments inside a function calling, that keyword argument should be last only. That means if I write here, observe here, if I write here some 31, sorry, 1 minute. I have just I will pass 31 here. This one also we are going to get what? Same error we are going to get. Okay, same error. Now what I have to do then? Just keep this, change this one as keyword argument. Will there be any problem? There will be no problem. 1 minute. Which misses one required positional argument age. 1 minute. Missing one positional argument in line 3. Let us see what happens here. So sorry, here it is going to show some error. I will remove this one. Okay. And first I will execute this one without this one, and I will see. Let us see what happens here. So see what happens. Positional argument follows keyword argument. We got the clarity on this one. Now here I am passing age. Now is there any rule that after keyword argument am I passing any positional argument? No, I am not doing that. Then will there be any problem in my program? I think there will be no problem. Reason is what? I have followed the rule. Rule is what? After keyword arguments there should be no positional argument, but after positional argument we can have keyword arguments. Okay, so this is the rule we have to remember. Again I am repeating that if we are having both positional and keyword arguments inside a function, same function calling, then compulsory positional argument should be first. Otherwise we can say that not only first, after keyword arguments positional arguments should not be there. That means before this keyword arguments only positional argument should be there, so that it will go to what? Hurry. Next it will go to MSG. Next it will go to age. If you want to modify this one, we can modify here, no problem. If you want to do this one here, that means here I can do it, no problem. I can do this. There will be no problem for you. Okay, we are going to get correct output only. Okay, right. So this point we have to understand about this. Now I want to call, see here, I am going to a section called as CSE final year. Generally final year students age is by default it will be nearly 21. I think let us take default value of all the students in final year is 21. So if they are 21, every time is there any requirement, is there any need of sending age is 21, again age is 21 for those students? It is not compulsory, because if I am going to ask 60 students to execute a function, which function? I have to pass hi, name, message and age. So age will be what? Same. Age will be same. Every time age will be same. If Shiva is going to call, what is his name? His name is Shiva, and he is going to pass some message called as good morning. His age is 21. Hari is calling, Hari, some good evening. He is going to pass 21 only. That means all these values will be same. If same value is there for all the function calls, what is the need of calling? Sorry, what is the need of passing that value? Okay, that this is one concept we have to understand here. So what is the need of passing the argument which is by default same for all the function calls? So that if it is the case, then we have to go for the concept of default arguments. Third one is what? Default arguments. Now we are talking about default arguments. Okay, right. So what is meant by default arguments? So what is meant by default argument means? Now see, we have already discussed about elif concept, elif statement. That is what? If some condition will be there here, next some statements will be there. Next one is what? Elif, some condition will be there, some statements are there. Elif, some condition is there and some statements are there here, and so on. Finally we are going to have what? Else. We can take else here. For this else we are not going to have any condition. Observe carefully this one so that you can understand what is meant by default. So if condition is satisfied, we will execute this one. If this condition is not satisfied, we will go to second condition. Here if this condition is satisfied, we will execute this one. If this condition is also not satisfied, we will go to this one. Now observe one thing. If these three conditions are not going to be satisfied, then by default we will go to this else case only. That means in this if else if ladder, what we can say that this else is going to act as a default. Else is acting as what? Default. What is meant by default? You know that he is a default. Generally we will call it as a some defaulters are there. That means he will not come. Generally whom we call defaulters as means they will not come to college regularly. they will not have any attendance. Those students are called as what? Defaulters. Default ga vaadu untadu, we'll say in that way. Okay, right. Here default means what? If something is not going to be happened, if something is not going to be the condition is not going to be satisfied, the default case, we are going to execute this else case. That means this one can be called as what? By default. If anything is not there, by default it will be executed. Okay, so now we are going to see about what? Default arguments. So just I will take one example so that you will get a clarity on this one. Now here I will take a message. So today the time is 9:30. Every student is going to get into the class. So what a message that I have to pass here? Good morning. For every student I'm going to tell good morning, for example. So just I have to pass what? Good morning message only. Good morning message is same only. So just I will write here itself. The message is what? Good morning. So every time it is not necessary to pass. Just I will remove this one now. Now observe carefully here. How many arguments are there for a wish function? There is only one argument. There are two arguments are there for a wish function. How many arguments you are passing for the wish function? You are passing only, sorry, we are passing only one argument here. Okay. So what happens? Will we get any error? Let us see. So is there any error? There is no error. Reason is, if you are not going to pass a second parameter, by default it is going to take this message. Once again I'm repeating, if you are not passing a second parameter, by default it is going to take this this value as a MSG. Let us consider you are going to pass some message. Good evening, I am passing. Okay, now what happens? You are passing two parameters. First argument will be passed to name, second argument will be passed to MSG. So it will not print good morning. You are passing what? Good evening you are passing. So that it will take only good evening only. It will not take good morning. When it will consider as a good morning, if you are not passing a second parameter, then it will consider as good morning. So the output will be what? It will print as what? Good evening only. Okay, right. Now the concept is, if I am not going to pass anything, will there be any problem? Yes, there is a problem. Reason is, here I am having what? One positional argument is there, but I am not passing anything. So clearly it will say that what? Wish missing on positional argument. It will tell you about positional argument only. It will not tell you about default arguments. Reason I will tell you now. So just if I pass only one argument, no problem. It will go to first position and it will place. Now I am going to take default name as Shiva, for example. I am taking what? Default name as Shiva. That means if I execute now this function, am I passing any parameter here? I am not going to pass. If you are not going to pass any parameter to wish, already default values are there. For name, there is a default value. For message also, we are having some default value. No problem. If you are not going to pass any value, default values are going to be considered and output is going to be printed in this way. Let us consider, I want to pass only one parameter here, one argument here. So here already, okay, I will pass some other value. I am passing explicitly. That means what? The Shiva acts as a default. Whatever you are passing will be a main. You are passing a Rama to this one. It will go to name and name will be printed as what? Rama. Am I passed any second argument? No. So that it will print as what? Good morning only. Name is changed. See here. When default values are going to be considered, if you are not passing that particular parameter or argument, then only default values are going to be considered. Okay. Now, can I use here? The concept is what? Can I use keyword arguments here? I will try here. Okay. So name equal to, otherwise I will write here message equal to MSG. MSG equal to, I want to write good evening. Good evening. Okay. Now observe what happens. Is there any problem? There is no problem here also. So just what it will do? It will do that, okay, MSG, they are passing some message. What about name? There is a default is there. By default, it is having some name. So it is going to print that one. If I am not going to pass anything, by default, it is going to take that particular name only. Did I pass anything regarding name? No. But listen one thing, that if you are passing with a positional argument, observe one thing, that if I am passing positional argument here, Shiva, is it correct? It is not correct. Reason is what? It is clearly saying that positional argument follows keyword argument. Now the case is, I am going to take only one default argument. I am going to take only one default argument, that is message. Here, now I am going to use name equal to, here I will write name equal to, observe clearly, name equal to Shiva I am going to pass, and I don't want to pass this one. Now see, I don't want to pass this one, just I'm going to pass good night. Now what happens? According to the concept of positional argument, it is in which position? It is in first position. It will go to where? Name. Whatever you passing here, it is also for the name. Then what about MSG? Am I passing anything here? No, you are not passing anything, but default is there. But what happens here? We are going to get an error. Reason is, which got multiple values for argument name. Multiple values are giving to name itself. You are passing good night, as it is a positional argument, it goes to name. Again you are telling name is Shiva. That means these two are sending to which argument? Only one argument. But generally for an argument we have to pass only one value. Okay, so it's going to return you what? Multiple values are passed to name. What about this message? Here if I am not going to pass, for example, if I am not going to pass this one also, no problem. Directly what happens? First argument will be passed to first parameter. What about second one? If you're not going to pass second one, by default it is having good morning, so it will be printed, no problem. Okay, so these small things you have to observe. Okay, that means what? If you are not passing the argument to this message MSG, then default value will be taken, because for message I am having what? Some value I have passed here, right? For how many arguments we can have this default arguments? So for any number of arguments in our function, we can have the default values, no problem for that. But once we have to observe that thing is, if once you are going to write a default argument, all the arguments to its rights must also be a default argument. It is very important. That is, this point I have to discuss. See here, first I am going to pass a, for example, I am going to this message equal to good morning, and here I am going to take name. Now observe clearly, here I am going to pass, I will not pass anything, just I will pass Shiva here. Observe clearly here. What I am passing? I am passing Shiva. What is the problem here? Again it's saying what? Non-default argument follows default argument. That is, already in previous concept what we have observed, point is, in previously I told you that after keyword argument, what should not be there? Positional argument should not be there. Now the concept is what? After default values, what should not be there? Any non-default value should not be there, or positional or any non-default. Here what I am doing? Message equal to good morning I am writing, and what I am writing? Name I am writing. Name is going to act as a what? Name is a positional argument. If you want to write a positional argument, that should be first one only. That means what? Before default arguments only we have to write this one. But now what is the problem here? Means here if you are passing Shiva, to whom I am passing the Shiva generally? It is a positional argument. But that means it will pass it to generally MSG. Then what about name? So it will be, there will be a conflict for this one. So that there is a condition that what? If you are going to use a default arguments, compulsory all the default arguments should be written last only. That means before that only positional argument should be written. This is very important point to be understand. So that is what clearly I am explaining once again. After default arguments, non-default argument should not be taken. That means what? After default argument, this is what name is what? Non-default argument. So it should not be taken. Okay, that means what? Default argument should be last. if you're going to get anything, if you're using any default argument in your as a parameter, compulsory that should be, if I'm taking 2, no problem. Last thing should be what? Your default argument only. In this case, what I am taking name and MSG. So MSG is what? Default. So now there will be no problem here. See, the program will be executed. If I take name equal to, here I'm taking some RAM. So what happens here? So first one is default, second one is default. Then there is no problem. When there will be a problem, when okay, when there will be a problem, if you are going to write non-default arguments or parameters after this one, after default parameters, then there will be a problem. Once again, I'm repeating. So here the concept is what? In default arguments, we can write the default values. When the default values are going to be executed, used, whenever we are not going to be, whenever we are not going to pass that particular argument, then only default values will be used. Now I am passing something to the name so that it is going to use Shiva. If I'm not going to pass anything here, what happens? By default, Raman good morning is going to be used. Okay. So this is about default arguments. So in next session we are going to see about one more argument type, that is variable arguments or arbitrary arguments, we can consider it. Thank you.